Many years ago, I came across a few lines in a book that I connected with. They were, "It's easy to judge, but you never know another person's heart, what gives them strength and what breaks them down." I have learned to listen more and speak less. The result has been eye-opening conversations and inspirational moments that I have shared with you right here. Hello and welcome to Crystal One-on-One. I am Crystal and today I'd like to welcome my guest. That is Michael Ross. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Yeah.
Michael Ross, are they your names on your birth certificate?
No, actually, the names are Kakoza Michael.
Okay.
But lately, I've been calling myself Michael Ross Kakoza. So
Okay. Why? Where did the Ross come from?
Ross came from way back when we were still kids, like trying to in primary school. That is.
Okay, that was your nickname?
Like I picked it up
Okay.
in primary school. Because since way back, I've always wanted to be an entertainer. So.
So was it Diana Ross and you're like, ooh, I like that name?
No. Actually, at first I was like, let me call myself. I called myself a couple of names.
Okay.
Before I settled for Michael Rose. First I called myself Rinkwave.
Rinkwave?
Rinkwave, yeah. Rinkwave. Rinkwave.
What was the rationale behind that?
Don't ask. And then I called myself Charlie Poplin. Charlie Poplin.
Poplin.
What was I thinking? Forget about that as well. And then I was like, what can I call myself? I need that name. And then and I came up with, how about Michael, like Ross? So like, yeah,
okay.
Ross can do, yeah. So yeah.
Do you know that the famous Michael Ross is
a
serial killer?
Oh yeah. I remember one time I hit on this girl on Facebook a long time ago. I was hitting on her on Facebook and I said, yo, this is Michael Ross. She was like, the serial killer? I'm like, no. She's like, are you the serial killer? Because I believe you're dead. It was crazy. But yeah.
Okay, so we just learned something new. You slide into people's DMs.
Yeah, you used to.
Used to? Not anymore.
These days, these days I cut it down a little bit.
Is there a reason for that? Are we in a steady relationship?
Aren't you jumping way too fast? I thought that was gonna come like way somewhere in the middle of the interview, and you're like, oh, by the way.
No, attack now.
Oh God, man, you're fast. But no, I split up with my girl like about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. My relationship of 5 years ended, and I think it has to be like that's the worst I've ever been hurt in a relationship. Like so, but.
Sorry.
So right now I'm single, but I'm not rushing into a relationship yet because the next relationship that I get into, I promise myself that it has to be like I have to go all like the whole 9 years or whatever, 20 years or whatever, So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm hoping somebody, the right person comes the right way, comes along the way, So yeah. That's how it is at the moment.
Well, everyone says you have to work on yourself, really.
I did.
And when you're in the right place.
During that heartbreak, I did. Trust me, I did. Because when I look back at what, because I mean, most of the time I was the cause of the breakup. Like, I was the cause, like, And so I decided to, like, work on myself. During the heartbreak, I was like, I did a whole lot of reflecting. And I was like, okay, Michael, now she's gone, and you guys have been together for 5 years. I reflected on the whole 5 years, and I was like, wow.
Did you see yourself marrying her?
Yes, we were planning on getting married.
Wow.
Yeah, we were planning on getting married. Actually, we were supposed to get married like 2 years in the relationship, but then there's some documents that we didn't have at the moment. And so, she had to fly back to Canada and stuff like that to reorganize herself. And then me as well. So And then when she came back, you know, that's when we started having a bit of, you know, friction in there, here and there, you know. And I messed up some more, she forgave me. Then I messed up some more, she forgave me. So by the time 5 years was done, she was like, no, I'm sorry. Forgive me for my French, but that's just how real this stuff is, you know. So it's like, no, man.
Well,
I'm
good on
done.
you for owning it and taking
Yeah,
responsibility.
yeah, I did. You know,
Most people don't want to take
no,
responsibility.
I do take responsibility. Yeah, like the whole, I take it all. It's all
Okay.
on me. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so can we now?
Can we move on? So you said you always wanted to be an entertainer.
Yeah, yeah,
So that means I think you started dancing what at the age of 8?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
So that means parties at home.
Definitely.
As soon as you started school.
I was the entertainer of the house. Every time we had like parties, because we used to stay in an enclosure, like, you know, we call it sakate. You know, Ghana, it's an enclosure where you have different, you know, units, like, you know, two, 3 bedroom houses and stuff.
Okay.
It was one big unit, and you know, we every time we had, you know, parties and stuff, and or if there was a kwanjula, or if there was a kasiki, right at the neighbors, you know, I used to go and I would be the entertainment for, you know, for the night, you know. So yeah, I used to love entertaining, you know, because I
Wow.
know this was what I wanted to do since day one. Yeah.
That's interesting. You found yourself that young.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, come on. The first time I got in front of a real, like, you know, big audience was when I was 12. It was a dance competition, and it was at Calendar Rest House. Calendar Rest House back then was like, well, what was this place? We don't have those places no more where people, like, you know, go.
That's
and,
where
you
people
know,
would perform.
Exactly, you
People would
know.
have weddings there. People would.
No,
it was a big venue.
these days we only have venues they're just for renting, you know, if you want to have a party and stuff. But back in the day, we used to have venues for just, you know, yeah, the youth, you know, exuding their talents, you know, you know, singing and dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, say for example, Deviate and Sabrina's and stuff, you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my first time, you know, in front of
At the age of
an
12.
audience. I was 12.
All right.
And I won, you know. So yeah.
So you were part of a big family.
Yeah.
You have a lot of siblings.
Definitely.
If I
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Is it 14 siblings?
14, yeah.
Ha!
Yeah.
And you are in there.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. Dad, I maybe see this, you go like this fool. It's all good.
Well, clearly he was a very busy man.
Yeah.
So you're number one in.
If you
are
put
one
us
of the
all together.
youngest, or
No, hell, come on.
okay.
Yeah, if you put us all together, let me see. Biologically, like same mom, same dad, we're 4.
Okay.
And I'm the second born.
Okay. Okay.
But if you put us all together, like, you know, I'm like the 7th born.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a big family.
It is
a big family.
It is, yeah.
So, dancing and all of that, was it ever part of trying to stand out because it was a big family? Did you
Not
ever feel
really.
like you needed?
Not really. Since the time I discovered myself, you know, from the time I discovered myself, you know, I felt like I was my own self. I felt like I was unique. I didn't have to compete with nobody to stand out. You know, I felt like I didn't have to. I just did me. Everywhere I went, even when I went into boarding school, you know, I just used to stand out automatically. You know, first of all, not because of my dancing, just because of my character. You know, when I'm in a place, I used to own the place.
So school, regular class and books and all of that.
Yeah.
Were you into that as well?
Definitely.
Or it was like, God, I have to just do this, but you were more
No,
on the
actually,
social side.
Incidentally, In school, I was kind of bright. You know, I wasn't a dummy or anything like
You
that.
never struggled.
I never Of course, definitely you have a struggle a little bit. That happens. It's a given. You know, but I never let my parents down. You know,
Okay.
yeah. And the only time actually I remember I repeated a class was because my teacher felt I was too stubborn to move on to the next class.
It wasn't your grades? Wasn't?
Okay, but my grade, okay, it was my grades. I missed only 1 point.
Okay.
I was just 1 point shy of being promoted to the next class.
What class was that?
P6. And then my teacher, now along throughout the whole year, my teacher felt like I was too stubborn, like P7 was too much for me. Like, this is P7. Remember how they used to take
you're
P7?
not ready to be a candidate.
Like yeah, P7 was like the real deal, man. Yo, P7, you're going to P7, because in P6 we're like already seniors, man. You're looking at P7, you're like, yeah. You know, and then my teacher talked to my mom and was like, you know what? My mom was like, come on, you can promote him. It's just 1 point. And my teacher was like, no, I feel like he's not ready. He should repeat. He's really not ready. He's too playful.
Yeah, not serious enough yet.
And I was like, huh? So my mom was like, you know, your teacher feels like you should repeat the class. And I was like, well, what do you think? And my mom was like, I don't want you to repeat, but, you know, for your own sake, repeat. I was like, okay.
You think now when you look back, do you think it was a good decision?
You know, I think everything happens for a reason. You know, along the way, I've never tried to really question whether good or bad. Of course, some of the bad things happen because of our actions and stuff, right? But the things that we don't have power over, you know, I believe everything happens for a reason. So if I hadn't repeated that class, you know, I wouldn't have rediscovered my real potential, like being, because when I repeated P6, I sat down, you know, because I was growing, you know. That's when I realized.
And then also you're seeing your, you know, the P7s. I think there's also that you're looking at them and you're still here, and you're thinking.
It messed with me for the first time, because we used to meet.
Yeah.
And like, yo, bro, you're supposed to be in P7 with us now. And I'm like, yeah, it's all good, but it's all good. You know, you guys do your thing, you know. But at first it messed with me for the first time. But when as you know, as the year progressed on, I was like, you know, I got back into myself, and then I rediscovered myself. Then I went into acting as well. You know, it's just like, you know, it was like a rediscovery of sorts. You know, I started acting as well. Then I went back into dancing as well. So, you know, by the time I went into P7, yo, I was up here. I was really mature. I was like, yo, I'm ready to take on the world. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Why did you start acting? At school?
At school, yeah.
Okay.
In P6. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like you were doing a lot at that age.
No, to be honest, I wanted to see. I'm very restless. I'm one person who doesn't want to stay in one place for too long, because my mind is always racing. I'm always thinking, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? You know. So when I repeated, that's when like everything just kicked in, because I was like, okay, it's like they told me, like, okay, now bring your A game on. What do you have? You know. So I started doing more of dancing. You know, I had this friend of mine called Sembera David. We were like a duo that we just used to dance, just dancing all the time. And then, you know, my grades also, I picked up my grades as well. And then I started acting as well. Then I went into drama, school drama as well, you know, dance and drama. So I was really, really busy, you know, like, you know, by the time I was promoted to P7, I was ready for literally anything. Yeah.
That is so young. I'm trying to remember what I was doing at that age. I don't think I was ready for the world. I was like, I'm still confused a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
so where were you for school? What school was this?
Bath Valley Primary School.
Bath Valley Primary School, okay. So you sat your P7 then?
Yeah, no. Actually, for my P7, my parents had a bit of, you know, my parents' finances were not, you know, really good at that time. So my dad felt that, you know, I think I should be studying from a school that's near home.
Okay.
And, you know, they moved me to a school called Chibuya Primary School. Just next to home. So
Okay.
10 minutes away from home, you know. So, and you know, and when I got into Chibuya Primary School, you know, it was like, yo, because Chibuya at that time, you know, was known for MDD, you know.
Oh.
And still I enrolled, and still I did more acting, and you know, and dance and drama as well, you know. Our school was like one of the top 4 schools in Kampala, always like competing. You know, we were just competing, like, yo, I remember my P7, the whole, just that 1 year, man, it was memorable.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think your parents also picked that school based on that?
No, not really, actually. It was because of their financial, you know,
Okay.
status at that time.
At that time.
So they felt like it was better if it was cheaper. First of all, the school was cheaper in terms of school fees, and also it was cost effective if I, you know.
Yeah, if it's just near home.
Just near home, you know. But, you know, that's why I said everything, you know, just
happens
for a reason, you know. So when I got into that school, you know, I was like, you know, the top guys there in MDD, acting, you know, we were competing with major schools like police, like we were just competing, like we took our school like to the top, you know. So I mean, it was, yo.
You're very proud of your time.
I am. You know, when I look, actually, it's because they asked all these questions. That's why I took you back, because sometimes I don't even remember. You don't
even remember, right?
Yeah, you don't remember all that. And you're like, yo, wait a minute. So when you ask such a question, I'm like, okay. Then my mind goes back. I'm like, wait, I can't believe I did all this stuff. You know, yeah. So.
Okay. So after P7.
After P7, I went to a school called St. Augustine's.
St. Augustine.
Yeah, secondary school. That's in Nansana. Yeah.
All right.
And that was always
again still
music,
music, dancing.
The acting, I didn't do much acting over there because the school was just new. They had just opened it.
Okay.
And they hadn't, you know, gotten into all that, you know, extracurricular activities and stuff. The only thing they had was sports, and I wasn't too much of a sports guy, you know.
Okay.
So I just, you know, continued with my music thing, you know, miming, dancing, and stuff like that. Yeah.
In the holidays?
In the
Would
holidays,
you hook up with your friends?
Oh yeah, holidays, you know, Deviate, Sabrina's, that was the norm.
So that's where you were?
Yeah, in the holidays, definitely, yeah. Yeah, and just kept on doing my thing, you know.
So who was your inspiration from the time you were little? Was it Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson, number one, definitely, yeah. Michael Jackson. Then as I grew along the way, along came Usher, came Genuine, you know, and then yeah.
Right now, oh my God, I had this discussion the other day. It was so heated. Usher versus Chris Brown. As someone who's been dancing your whole life, who is a better dancer?
Chris Brown is a better dancer.
Okay.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Chris Brown is an all-rounder. The reason why he's a better dancer is because he's an all-round. You know, Chris Brown is not afraid to take risks. You know, he does literally everything.
Oh.
Yeah, Usher, I think Usher is laid back. You know, right now he's an OG. You know, I think, you know, when you look at his resume, he's done it all. You know, so I think when he sits back and looks at that, he's like, nah, I'm good.
I'm good.
You do all that, I'm good. Yeah.
All right. So you said you were focusing on the dancing in the holidays. The school didn't really have much of a dance drama culture.
Yeah.
And you were there how long?
For just a year.
Just 1 year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then, you know, S2, I came to Makerere
College School.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was another, how can I call it? Because you see, every school that I went to, the students, I mean, every school had its own culture, so to speak, you know. When I was in senior one, when I was at St. Augustine's, you know, the kids were kind of like, you know, there are very few students that were, you know, outspoken, you know. Very few were that, you know, open-minded, you know. Very few were as you know, as how can I call it, aggressive, so to speak. And so I'm the kind of guy who, if you put me in an environment, I adapt, you know, accordingly.
Okay.
But
why the move though?
Because I didn't like the school.
Okay. You weren't happy there.
I wasn't happy there. Much as, you know, my grades were good, no doubt they were good. But I told my mom, you know what, I need to move. I want to go to a better school. And I told her, look, You have your cousin, because her cousin um, happened to be the wife to the headmaster of Makerere College School. So I told her, look, why don't you put me over there? Maybe this place is, you know, because I felt like I was being stunted. Like, you know, when you're in a place and you feel you can be better. Yeah. So my mom was like, okay, I'll see about it. You know, so she went and, you know, had a chat with her cousin. And then she was like, okay, I'll talk to my husband, but you guys, of course, you need to bring your grades and we'll see. So I took my grades and they were like, okay, fine. We can admit him, and that's, you know, that's why it all,
Okay.
you know, yeah.
And then you go to a school that is so well,
Yeah.
was so well known for everything, anything to do with drama,
Everything.
sports, art.
To be honest,
Music.
the moment I entered into my career college school, I was like, I think I'm home. No, like for real. When I got there, I was like, now I'm home.
Okay.
Yeah, because I felt like I could relate. Like, you know, I could connect. You know, you guys were outspoken. Yo, fine girls, hey, what you looking at there? You know, and the whole vibe, you know, school had a vibe about it.
Yes.
You know, smart, you know, people, you know, smart students, you know, I was like, yo, this is my kind of environment, you know. And, you know, when I got into there, you know, I quickly adapted just like that, you know, and I guess that's why I turned out the way I did.
Yes. It was a school that groomed a lot of people to be creative and outspoken.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you were there until
my whole senior
Till
six. Senior six, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I happened to
That's
meet
where,
you
that's
there.
where we met.
Yes.
Am I allowed? Let me look into this camera.
Uh-oh.
Should I?